Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Was smoking gun against Todd and Julie Chrisley illegally obtained? Breaking silence via her father Todd Chrisley's Instagram, Savannah shared a website titled Chrisley's Defense. The website included all of the court documents for fans to dig into the case on their own time and come to their own conclusions. As fans dig into these court documents, Todd and Julie Chrisley's infamous warehouse has come up as a topic of conversation again. For those who have followed this story from the beginning, Todd and Julie Chrisley's infamous warehouse is what most agree was the final nail in their coffin. The smoking gun for the case against them. The real question everyone is asking is simple. Did the government obtain the documents inside the infamous warehouse legally or illegally? Todd Chrisley, his wife Julie, and the entire family insists there was never a search warrant and the evidence was obtained illegally. What do the court documents say and what are fans saying about it? Keep reading for the details. Was smoking gun against Todd and Julie Chrisley illegally obtained? Looking at the court documents recently shared on Reddit, revenue employees and the sheriffs of the state had permission to get into the warehouse. The goal was to seize items of value. Items the government could sell to pay off the $424,000 tax debt. The tax debt the couple owed. During this seizure, documents were found the government later used as proof of the Chrisleys' crimes. Proof of tax evasion and fraud. The argument being made is that these documents were obtained illegally. Voicing their opinions in a Reddit thread, fans of the Chrisley family have mixed feelings about it. Some fans note the document allowed the search and seizure of items to be sold to repay the tax debt. The document, however, was not a search warrant. And it did not grant permission to seize items, such as the documents, for other reasons. Some fans, and the family, argue the evidence should not be admissible in order because there was never a search warrant. On the side of justice, the individual who started the thread notes that the discovery is no different than if they had found drugs or a dead body in the warehouse. Additionally, the OP mentions that revenue employees and sheriffs would have called proper authorities upon such a discovery. On the side of the Chrisley family, some fans are arguing the right to seize items to sell never gave anyone permission to shift through and read documents. Check out the Reddit thread below to see the document and discussion. Is the family to blame? Some fans believe Todd and Julie Chrisley should blame themselves. They kept documents allegedly confirming tax evasion and bank fraud. Fans argue that if they had thrown away the documents, they wouldn't be in this mess. Many believe that the couple's arrogance is the reason they received such a lengthy prison sentence. Furthermore, they refuse to admit guilt and show remorse. So, the judge threw the book at them. The courtroom buzzed with tension as Todd and Julie Chrisley sat side by side, their polished demeanor unshaken despite the storm swirling around them. Julie adjusted her pearl necklace, casting a subtle glance at Todd, who nodded in reassurance. The Chrisleys had always faced the world with a united front, but this time, they were up against accusations that could dismantle their carefully curated lives. Their defense attorney, Madison Whitmore, a sharp-tongued advocate with a knack for turning cases on their heads, we have reason to believe that the key evidence in this case, the so-called smoking gun, was not only mishandled but also illegally obtained. The prosecution, led by the formidable Jacob Price, rolled his eyes. Your Honor, this is yet another attempt to distract from the overwhelming evidence against the defendants. Judge Eleanor Hargrove raised a hand, silencing the room. Ms. Whitmore, I'll hear your argument. Proceed. A shady beginning. Madison turned to the jury, her piercing gaze settling on each member. The smoking gun, in this case, is a set of financial documents that allegedly prove Todd and Julie Chrisley engaged in tax evasion and bank fraud. These documents, however, have a murky origin. The FBI claims they were obtained during a routine subpoena of financial records. But evidence shows that these documents were first flagged by an anonymous whistleblower, one who acted outside legal bounds. She paused, letting her words sink in. This whistleblower hacked into the Chrisley's personal email accounts and forwarded the contents to a third party. That third party, conveniently, is a private investigator with questionable ties to federal agents. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just unethical. It's illegal. Todd's revelation. Todd leaned closer to Julie and whispered, "I told you they had it out for us. This whole thing stinks of a setup." Julie nodded subtly but kept her focus on Madison. If there was one thing Julie Chrisley excelled at, it was maintaining composure under pressure. Years of reality television had taught her how to navigate storms with a smile, even as chaos brewed beneath the surface. As Madison continued her argument, Todd's mind drifted back to the first time he had heard about the documents. It was a cold January evening, and an email had landed in his inbox with a cryptic subject line, "You're being watched." The email contained an attachment with pages of bank statements he'd never seen before, highlighted with accusations of fraud. Todd had immediately flagged it as suspicious, but a week later, the FBI showed up at his door. The mysterious whistleblower. Back in the courtroom, Jacob Price was quick to counter Madison's claims. "Your Honor, whether or not these documents were first discovered by a whistleblower is irrelevant. The FBI conducted its investigation independently and verified the authenticity of the evidence." Madison smirked. But Mr. Price, the Fourth Amendment begs to differ. It protects citizens from unlawful searches and seizures. If the government bases its investigation on illegally obtained evidence, then every subsequent action is tainted by that illegality. Judge Hargrove interjected, "Do you have proof of this whistleblower's alleged hacking?" "Not yet, Your Honor," Madison admitted, "but we've subpoenaed the private investigator's communications. We suspect they will reveal coordination with the whistleblower before the FBI was even aware of the documents." A race against time. Outside the courtroom, Todd and Julie's eldest daughter, Savannah, paced the hallway. Her phone buzzed with messages from reporters hungry for a statement. She ignored them, focusing instead on the private investigator her family had hired to dig into the whistleblower's identity. "We're close," the investigator had assured her earlier that morning. "The IP address used to send that email leads back to someone in your inner circle." Savannah's stomach churned at the thought. Could someone they trusted have betrayed them? The Chrisley brand had always been about family, faith, and resilience. The idea that an insider could be the cause.